Welcome back to Altenberg in Germany. A little foggy and a little chilly this evening as we get ready for what has now become a one-heat race for the season opener of the four-man Bobsleigh World Cup. Well, as you can see, conditions aren't an awful lot clearer than they were earlier on, but we are getting ready with now 15 sleds on our entry list. Race was suspended temporarily after a crash for China's Sun Kai-chi. Kim Jin-soo of Korea had already pulled out, bringing us down to 17 sleds. Sun won't go again, making it 16, and I'm guessing that Li Chunjian of China may well have pulled out as well. So that gives us our 15 sleds. Now, Francesco Friedrich was just about to go after the pause, but we will now reset the field. They will go again in their original start order. So Martin Kranz of Liechtenstein and Mattia Variola, Adam Ammour, who you just saw, Mihai Tentea of Romania, Patrick Baumgartner and Johannes Lochner all have the very slight advantage that they have got experience of the track as it is now rather than as it was yesterday for the two-man. The disadvantage is they've already put in a full-bore start, and so that might take just a little bit out of their getaway, whereas everybody else in the field has yet to have that first run. So sixes and sevens, half to one, half a dozen the other, checks and balances, yada yada. I don't think there is a significant advantage, particularly over Francesco Friedrich on home ice, in having had one trip down so far. But we will find out. Francesco Friedrich racing to his 80th World Cup win yesterday in his 100th start in the two-man World Cup. So the 100th race for him and a first for Simon Wolf, who's brakeman, and they both ended up with gold medal. So for, six of our sleds, we already have some information on what they did in the now discarded first heat. It will be a one-hit wonder, though. Where you finish at the end of this run, that's where you finish. So 1,400 meters, it is a track with a fearsome attitude, one that nobody takes lightly because there are plenty of trouble spots, not least of which might be corner one if your name's Matthias Benisch, who managed to roll a sled off there, one of the German drivers. Out of two, you can hit the right-hand side there very easily on your way into three. If you tap in three, you go wrong into four, double pressure corner, and that sets you wrong into five here. You then bounce into six, and you struggle to get seven and eight, this upper labyrinth transition right into corner nine. Out of nine, you've got to try and stay away from the walls all the way down into the Kreisel. Enter on the left, first pressure, second pressure, third pressure, and out looking down into the 11-12 crossover. Easy to roll out there. 13, that's where we saw Sun roll. Exit of 14, uphill into 15. Losing speed here if you tap or you're sideways, but building time if you can keep it clean. Across the line, Andre Lange setting that track record, winning gold in the World Championships back in 2008. Yes, it's really that long ago. Start record goes to the Worlds in 2020. Francesco Friedrich with Candy Bauer, Martin Grotkopp and Alex Schuller. Grotkopp laughingly chatting about a comeback to Bobsleigh. Not sure that's happening. So Martin Kranz sets us off. Kim Jin-soo had withdrawn before the start. A crash for Sun Kai-chi means he won't go again in this single race. And, well, I'm guessing Li Chunjian may not yet, because there's 18 sleds and only 2 missing. So we will wait and see. He's not an official withdrawal at this stage. We'll wait to see if he comes to the line. But we do have Liechtenstein. So Martin Kranz with 2 rookies behind him, Mauro Bühler and Stefan Huber. 35-year-old Bühler, an ex-American footballer, 34-year-old Huber, a rugby player, and Lawrence Lenhair, the only remnant of last year's crew that is still here. Now India aboard the first race. They started 5:61. Let's see what they've got this time out. 5:62, there you go. So they might not be quite as quick. Now, it's only the second four-man World Cup start for Martin Kranz. He's only raced here once before as well. He's got a total of 15 four-man races. One other World Cup four-man. Not a bad-looking run early on. Whoa. Very tricky conditions for the cameramen. The drivers will be seeing enough. 1:15.1. I think that's about where he was in the first heat as well in terms of speed. Cleanly through 11 and 12. Out of 14. Nice into 15. Not the highest speed, but he's keeping what he's got on board. That's actually a nice looking run. 56.41. Now, he had a 56.03 in the first run. Well, only the second World Cup race for Martin Kranz, and he has completed it successfully. He got 2 runs in. Not even half the field will do that, but he has finished what will be the only run that counts, and that means that his World Cup record now includes a result. He'll be no worse than 15th, so that is a World Cup best, because on his previous World Cup race, he actually crashed. They lost a crew member, they lost a crew member at the start, didn't they, in St. Moritz? And so didn't, in Lillehammer, and didn't, it was in St. Moritz, and didn't therefore get included as a finisher. Next up for Italy, Mattia Variola. Now, on his last 2 appearances here in four-man, he has crashed. Got down safely the first time, so hopefully he's got that off his back. Alex Pagnini, Fabio Batti, the 2-man brakeman from yesterday, and a new boy, rookie Nicolas Artuso, the 26-year-old, has had no official bobsleigh races. The brakeman, driver in early, Mattia Variola, wants to make no mistakes in these misty conditions. 5:51, good getaway. Ooh, little rocky in 3. Look out as he comes nicely onto from 4 to 5, smooth onto 6, then 7 to 9, this upper labyrinth, bump into 8. Got to get a nice clean exit out of 9. You just want to see the sled coming straight down the track. It's hard to see the exit there, but he's got better speed, but he's got a very wavy Kreisel going on. Hauls it off at the end. Uncomfortable, untidy, and not nice at 11 and 12. Gets tapped away in 13 as well. Tap into 15. He'll still have the lead at the line, but it could have been cleaner. 55.71. Now, Martin Kranz came down 38 hundredths slower than the first time, whereas that is a 48 hundredths slower run from Mattia Variola. That was a bit more variation than I think he would have liked. Well, he's got it done. 2 racing trips down, and both finished with the runners on the ice rather than in the air, and that's the key here. You can't let Altenberg's fearsome reputation overrule everything. Late flop off the Kreisel. Fabio Batti discussing something or other, not sure what. Adam Ammour, bronze medalist here last time out. World Championship bronze medalist in 2-man as well in March. With his World Cup debut in the plan. He's got Benedict Hertel, brother Issam Ammour, and Rupert Schenk behind. Get in, get down, 5:09. That's a rocking start. Start record is 5:01. Started 5:14 with their first push. These boys have really amped up for it. Nice out of 4 to 5 to 6. Could have been tidier. 7/8's not a bad transition. X to the 9, can't see him. There he is. Onto the Kreisel, 117 kilometers an hour. That's good speed. 1.2 Ks up, little skid off the Kreisel. 11 and 12 without drama. 13. Okay, out of 14, got to come straight up the hill. Does. Into 15, nice transition into 16. It's a good run from Adam Ammour. That might be a medal winner. 54.36.
First place currently for Team
3,500 slower than first time down, but we've had nearly 2 hours of very damp air and hard refrigeration. I think the track is significantly frosty. There's Issam, gives his little brother a big hug. Good stuff from the younger of the Ammour brothers, Adam Ammour, 23. Benedikt Hertel behind him, leaning right over the driver. He's the last to get down the guy. Now then, Mihai Tentea. I'm sure he will have been, if not watching, then very aware that Andrea Grecu claimed a bronze medal in the monobob race and had a good run in the women's bobsleigh as well. And Mihai had a pretty decent run in the two-man. Top 10 finish for Tentea. His best result here, 8th place in January 2023. He was 10th in the race last year, February of 2024. 4 previous World Cups here from his previous 21 starts. Julian Pacianu, the coach there at the front. Constantin Dinescu at 2, closest to us, Mihai Pacianu, the 25-year-old ex-skeleton slider, and Georg Jordash on the back, just 21. Georg in his 9th World Cup, same as Mihai. They both made their debut in Winterberg in January 23. A month later, Constantin Dinescu, the man at 2, joined the crew. He loads from the same side as the driver, drops in last. Neat load, in and down, 5.26. Nice smooth run. The Romanians may not have the fastest push, they may not have the newest kit, but Mihai Tentea can drive. And just listen. No taps, no bumps. All right, the mist reduces some of that echo, but nevertheless, good clean run. Second best speed behind Adam Ammour. 1700s back at start. He's 4/10ths back though, nearly 5/10ths back. It's not going to be a medal-winning run. This could be top half dozen for Mihai Tentea. Whoa, hanging it out there, 16-17, 54.93.
And second place currently for Team Tentea.
Only 2100 slower than his first run, so that extra bit of knowledge has really worked for the Romanian driver, having come down a little earlier. There's Mihai Pacianu. 2 Mihais in the sled. But it's Tentea. He has got great hands. Look at this 11-12 transition. It's like it's never a drama. And there is Mihai Tentea, but Adam Ammour and the team remain in the leader's box. Next up, Patrick Baumgartner, the 30-year-old in his 38th 4-man World Cup race. Eric Fantazzini, start number 22. Robert Messier, who was on the 2-man yesterday, 17th 4-man World Cup. And Lorenzo Bellotti, his 32nd. Lorenzo in his 73rd 4-man race since his debut here in December 2016 in a Europe Cup race. There's quite some experience in some of these teams. Baumgartner, Youth Olympic champion in boys bobsleigh back in 2016. Little tap there, 2-3. Nice from 4-5. Third start, second at the moment on the split, so he's creeping in front of Mihai Tentea. How's he doing down the straight? Not bad at all. Higher speed than the German sled of Adam Ammour, but a little skid out of the Kreisel. Second best speed. He's not going to close any further. Out to 5/10ths back. This might be second, it might be third behind Mihai Tentea of Romania. It is second by 300ths ahead of Tentea.
Team Baumgartner, Team Ammour still in the leading position.
Well, 54.90 compared to 54.43 first run down. So not quite as close, but 300ths ahead of Mihai Tentea. So it is Patrick Baumgartner in second place after the first 5 sleds. Lots of height in the Kreisel. This is the exit, brings it down, but late rear runner pressure just drives him into a bit of a skid down to the 11-12 transition. Hello, is there anyone there? There is indeed. It is Germany's Johannes Lochner. Didn't race here in February after a training crash, fractured his vertebra. But back with Georg Fleischhauer, Eric Bruckert and Joshua Tasche. Fleischhauer made his debut with Hansi and Whistler in November 2022. They finished in 6th place in the 4-man. Since January 17, he has had medals ever since. I beg your pardon, since that race he's had medals ever since. Hansi started in January 17. Good getaway at 5:09. Keep it clean, 3-4. Nice smooth run, and again the FES 4-man running cleanly, but he bumps against the wall there. 1:17.4. Same speed as Patrick Baumgartner. 200ths ahead of Adam Ammour at the moment. A whisker better speed. 100th ahead of Adam Ammour. This is going to be very close at the line. A German 1-2, but who's got the lead? Hansi does by 200ths of a second. Wowee. Well, both sleds started 5:09 and a 54.36 Adam Ammour, a 54.34 Johannes Lochner. There's big Georg Fleischhauer, Eric Bruckert and Joshua Tasche at the back. 5:09 getaway, that's a very decent start. They also had a first run, they had a 5:08. And again, Hansi 4/10 slower than his first heats. The track is not as quick. Big height in the Kreisel, controls the final pressure nicely. So he leads, at least for now. Because here comes the hometown hero, Francesco Friedrich. Yesterday, his 80th World Cup win in his 100th 2-man race. This is his 89th 4-man race. As we talked about earlier, that disparity largely due to COVID. Normally there are 8 races a season for each of the disciplines. In the COVID season, particularly 21-22, I think we had something like 14 2-man races, and maybe 4-man. However, with Matthias Sommer, Alex Schuller and Felix Straub. Straub, the brakeman, never off the podium since his debut in Lake Placid in December 2022, has never raced 2-man. Alex Schuller has done 2 and 4. It's his 36th 4-man World Cup. He's got 32 medals. Unbelievable. 5:05, what a great start. 400ths off the all-time record from 2020 in these murky conditions. Big loops in 4, clean off 5. 7 and 8, nice and smooth. Little bump on the end of 8. How does he come down the straight? Well, he too has a little touch there. 1:17.6, just 1/10 quicker than Johannes Lochner in terms of speed, 1100ths in terms of time. Second best speed, and he was 1:19.6. This would be close. No, it's not. He's opening up that advantage again, stretching his legs. One heat or two. He's got a lead by 1700ths. He will move into the leader's box, and that should be that. René Spies thinks so, and so does Gert Leopold. And so do they. And so do they. Home ice for Friedrich. His teammates are always going to be his biggest rivals. But there might yet just be one more chance. Well, a good-looking run from Francesco. Always tells you that if you haven't got the speed by corner 3 or 4, you're in real trouble. That goes for everywhere, not just for here. Austria's Markus Treichl next up, our 8th sled in the season opener of the IBSF World Cup, with Opper, Markus Sammer, Sascha Stepan and Christian Huber behind him. A little bit about Markus Sammer. His first 4-man race, Europe Cup, Innsbruck, November 2011. This is his 105th 4-man race, Markus Sammer, and he is still knocking it out of the park. Drops in behind the driver, they get away in a 5:10. Great starting from this crew, and that gives Markus Treichl everything he needs. Rattles it off 5 though. Needs to get 7 and 8 clean, needs bumps into 8, needs a good exit out to 9. Beautiful run down the straight, just where he needed to be for the Kreisel. He's got the 2nd highest speed of all. Wolfgang Stampfer has been doing a bit of sled whispering on this. 3rd highest speed, only 1100ths off the lead. Lochner in 2nd is 1700ths back. This is a very big run from Markus Treichl. At the line, he is 2nd ahead of Hansi Lochner. What a run from Markus Treichl. What a smile from Wolfgang Stampfer. Wow. First hand out there to congratulate him is in a German jacket. I think that was Hansi. 2nd place. He has never won a 4-man World Cup medal. This might be the day. Well, he wasn't tidy up top, but he kept it together. Look, out of 4, taps off 5, gets nudged away, and that then means you bounce out of 5 into 6, square onto 6. The boys going to offer their congratulations to Markus Treichl. And there you can see the bearded smile of Markus Sammer. Well, 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 it is not necessarily all over for the medals. Friedrich, Lochner and Treichl are tied for 2nd. Cedric Follador next for Switzerland. Luca Rolli, Nicola Mariani. First World Cup since Whistler in November, since January, in fact. Cantangiar on the back, their new boy in the team. They get away with a 5:24, 5th best start. Follador only in his 6th 4-man World Cup as a driver, after 11 as a brakeman. Little tap sent him back over to the side he needs. 6th best speed into the Kreisel. And currently, this is a top 5 run, ahead of Patrick Baumgartner and Mihai Tentea and Mattia Variola. Still struggling with a hip injury, Cedric Follador, not at full speed in the push. And across the line, 5th place, 54.80. Well, he finished 7th place here in the race in February in 4-man. His World Cup best followed in Lake Placid, a 5th place finish. And he is 5th at the moment. Well, that might end up being a PB equaling run. might yet easily end up being equal to his best performance on this track as well. Good run from Cedric Follador. Nice smooth run, and not too much height on the end of the Kreisel. Came down nice and clean. There's Cedric sorting out the sled. Doesn't need to worry about going into the leader's box. Francesco Friedrich remains there. Well, fifth at the moment for Follador. Next up, though, for Latvia, Jekabs Kalenda, Arnis Petris, Lauris Kaufmanis and Mairis Klaver, the crew. Mairis, the youngest, 25, and his 8th four-man World Cup. Started with the team in Beijing at the beginning of last season. 25th World Cup four-man now for Lauris Kaufmanis. Made his debut in Lake Placid in December 2019, where he claimed a silver medal on the back of the sled of Oskars Kibermanis. Jekabs Kalenda now seems to be about the last man standing in the Latvian crew, with the joint winner here in February, Elmas Tsoupulis, announcing his retirement. Let's see what they've got. February's race here, 8th place for Jekabs, his World Cup best. Can he match that? Can he improve on that? It's all or nothing, this one heat. It's a little rocky through one, tidied it up. No tap in 3, cleanly on to 4, just about gets through 5. Here we go, out of 9. He's on the left. Now he comes to our right, his left. 6th best speed from the 6th fastest start. He's currently 6th on the splits, but finding more speed below the Kreisel. Looking for a top 5 run to go ahead of Cedric Follador and Matej Baumgartner. 8th place here in February. This should be 5th place at the line. It is 5th place at the line. 54.78. 200ths ahead of Cedric Follador. Well, they started 100th slower than Follador's crew, 5:25 to 5:24 of the Swiss, but he brought it in 200ths in front. So he is 5th with 10 sleds down. And either 6 or 7 remaining, not quite sure which. We'll find out in a moment or two. Francesco Friedrich leads from Hansi Lochner, Markus Treichl, Adam Ammour currently in 4th place, and Jekabs Kalenda in 5th, just ahead of Cedric Follador. One heat race in the season opener of the IBSF four-man World Cup, and as anticipated, Li Chunjian of China does not go following a crash of his teammate Sun Kai-chi. So we go to Timo Rohner of Switzerland, with Greg Jones there smiling at 2, Tim Annan and Mattia Herzberger, the new boy, making his four-man debut. And last race we'll see Greg for a while, I think, as a brakeman, because he is off to start driving. Swiss need some more drivers. Right now, Timo Rohner, after a good day in the two-man, 9th best start, 5:29. That's going to give coaches a little bit of a worry as well. They've got to find more brakemen. Ooh, double tap. Comes straight down, 7th best speed. Still in 9th place. Let's see if he can find a little bit more further down. 4th best speed. It's only the 8th four-man World Cup race for Timo Rohner. A very occasional performer over the last 2 or 3 seasons, but now the door is wide open at Switzerland for him. And across the line, 7th best, 54.86. Well, his World Cup best is 9th place from Innsbruck in February 2023. And right now, he might be matching that. He might possibly be beating that. He's relatively happy with that run. Had a decent day in the two-man, decent day in the four-man as well. And they will leave the four-man now until after Christmas. Hauls it off 15, very early steering off, and then got hard onto 16, scrubbing away precious speed. Had he not, he might have been ahead of Cedric Follador. Those errors when you're going uphill don't help. Alex Schiller gurning there, second from the right. Jakob Mandlbauer now for Austria, with Dominik Hanschitz, Gregor Glabenat, the new boy in the team, and Lukas Zek, a rookie on the back. So making up the numbers here in the sled for Jakob Mandlbauer. Jakob only in his third four-man World Cup race. Finished 11th here in February. That is the better of his two previous four-man World Cup results. 5:32 the getaway. Well, for 5:29, we've just seen Timo Rohner threatening a top six run. So it is doable. It depends, how many mistakes Mandlbauer makes on the way down. There's two things always going on with a younger driver, inexperienced in Altenberg. The first thing is to try and go as quickly as you can. And the second one is not to overreach yourself and park the crew on their heads. I don't think anybody needs to be reminded that crashing a bobsled isn't comfortable. 8th best speed. Top 10 run here from Jakob Mandlbauer. Now, can he get to Mihai Tentea? He's ahead of Mattia Variola at the line. Does not get to Tentea. He's 2 tenths behind the Romanian, but 6 tenths ahead of Mattia Variola.
Austria.
And that might be a World Cup best equaling run for Jakob Mandlbauer. At the moment, if nobody beats him, that will be his best result. But if only one of the remaining sleds goes quicker, then that will tie his best. Well, 4 to 5, uncomfortable. And you can see, you feel the crew, I'm sure, getting there, bounced up, feeling all of that. So young Jakob Mandlbauer in 10th place out of our 12 sleds. Next up, Brad Hall. Didn't race here in February. European Championship gold medalist on this track, though, in January 2023. Took 2 straight wins in Altenberg, with Christoph Hafer and Francesco Friedrich in the silver medal positions in those 2 races. Now, Brad still recovering a little from back surgery, not this summer, but the previous summer. Behind him, Big T, Taylor Lawrence, Liam Greenwood in his 3rd World Cup in the four-man, and Greg Cackett in his 42nd four-man race on the back handles. 30th four-man race for Taylor Lawrence. And Big T, there he is closest to us, was on the two-man yesterday. A sled built by Hannes Wallner. Let's see what Brad's got for us. 1 and done. He won his last 2 four-man outings on this track. Can he get close? Well, off a 5:12 start, they've got every opportunity. Friedrich, the leader, started 5:05, so only 700s behind. Just about got it from 4 to 5. Fifth best start, 1600s back as they came into corner 9. Second best speed for Brad Hall, 2 tenths back. Nice exit out of the Kreisel, little bit of race flying. 11 and 12 is okay, but the speed dropping away, only 7th fastest. It's not going to be a medal-winning run. 2400s back, the gap is growing. It'll be top 5, but not top 3 at the line. 5th place, 54.46 for Brad Hall. A 2-time winner on this track, not in the medals here tonight. out a little bit slowly. Hopefully he's okay on the back. Well, decent run through the Kreisel. Maybe cutting a little too much ice. They seem to lose speed in the Kreisel. Came out nice and straight. Just a tiny little skid, and there went the ice flying off the wall. Somebody spotted Brad as well. That might have been Big T. He's at 2. There's a lot of him to get into a sled. 2 to go then. Matej Behounek of the Czech Republic. 6 World Cup start for Matej. Michal Dobeš, Anton Vijas behind him, and Ladislav Villa, who was due to be on the 2-man sled yesterday, but he is on the brakes in the 4-man. Well, first World Cup start in Altenberg for Matej. Did race here in December 2022 in Europe Cup. Undoubtedly made full use of the International Training Week last week. Handles in very, very late, not in properly now they are. It's new brakeman, Ladislav Villa. Oof, it's hard on 5. You can see the relative lack of experience compared to the German crews and the likes of maybe Brad Hall, Markus Treichl, who really know the track well. 10th best speed still, and off the 9th best start, he is in 9th position. 12th best speed. This might be a top 10 run for Matej Behounek of Czechia. Let's see how close he's going to get. Just drifting away. 11th at the line, 55.06. It is still a career high. His previous best, 12th place in Lillehammer, and he will be, well, potentially 11th place here. At worst, he will be 12th. There's the 11-12 transition. Rocky and battles the wall, going sideways into 13. 13 rolling into 13 is where Sun Kai-chi and the Chinese crashed, and they're very late. See how much ice is dug by these rounded runners. Highly polished, rounded runners, still digging the ice. And the final sled is Frank Del Duca of the USA. There's his teammates watching from the sidelines and videoing and cheerleading and everything else. Got Carsten Vissering, Charles Volker, and Maneo Mitchell on the back of the sled. 25th World Cup 4-man race for Frank. 12 with his head tucked down behind the driver. Now in his 13th, seeing where he's going. 5:16 getaway. That's a good, strong start for the US crew. 6th fastest in the field. We know from last year that Frank and this 4-man sled are a formidable combination. Still a top 6 run, 35/100ths of a second back. Nice run down the straight. Ooh, where's the speed? Sled builder Mark Vandenberg is here in Altenberg watching the races. The 2 new babies for the women's race. Little skiddy at the bottom, drifting away from the top 10. And at the line, it is 13th place. Victory for Francesco Friedrich, and 13th place in the 1 run for Frank Del Duca. 55.33 run. His first World Cup outing here as a driver in Altenberg. Down and done in 1. And everybody safe, no helmets used. Tour at the front of the sled. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Got a little wild in a couple of places. And again, as we saw with the likes of Matej Behounek, Jakob Mandlbauer, drivers who are new to this track all make the same mistakes. Congratulations being offered by Greg Beckett. There are your winners: Francesco Friedrich, Alexander Schuller, Felix Straub and Matthias Sommer. fastest start with a 5:05, and they had the fastest downtime with a 54.17. Francesco Friedrich, after a 3-season drought, returns to his winning ways. Well, he won here in February, tied for a win with Emos Sipoulis, but he wins again, his 8th win in the 4-man. Yesterday claimed his 9th win on this track in the 2-man. So that is win number 81 in World Cup racing, and for completion, win number 33 in the 4-man alone. It's his 56th 4-man World Cup medal. Hansi Lochner and Markus Treichl take a joint silver, Treichl's first ever World Cup medal, and that keeps Adam Ammour off the podium with Brad Hall in 5th, Jekabs Kalenda in 6th. A good run to 7th from Cedric Follador, ahead of teammate Timo Rohner, Patrick Baumgartner and Mihai Tentea. And actually, some of the rookies will be very happy to have got down even in one trip with no major dramas. Behounek, Mandlbauer and Del Duca among them, new to this track. Well, Lee Chun-jan pulled out after the crash of Sun Kai-chi, and Kim Jin-soo pulled out overnight. So we ended up with a 15 sled field. And that is it. The World Cup season opener here in Altenberg is done, and we rejoin battle in a week in Sigulda in Latvia. Francesco Friedrich will have the 4-man lead into the new year, because it's double 2-man next week, and then a few weeks off, 2 weeks off for the Christmas holidays. And that is how the standing are. We will catch up later in the season, as Skeleton has a few weeks off. But for now, that is it from Altenberg. We will say auf Wiedersehen and goodbye. Thank you for being with us, and thanks for all of your company, your thoughts and your comments. And we will see you on Friday in Sigulda, bright and early for the Skeleton, as we get underway in the pre-Christmas race. Till then, from everybody in Altenberg, from me, Martin Haven, bye for now.